Hello there, paper crafters, my artsy friends. I decided that for today's vlog, I'm actually going to do a video instead of photos because there would actually be a lot of photos for this one. So for this vlog, I am going to show you this mini album that I made for my cousin as a wedding present. So I actually used Close to My Heart's Colonial White cardstock for the bases of everything, but the rest of the products, rest of the paper is actually from Paper House, and it's the I Do paper pack. So I hope you can see that. I actually used most of it. So I bought it at Hobby Lobby, so that's where I got that. This ribbon is Retired Close to My Heart twill ribbon. And I'm just going to go ahead and open that up. And so the front page, to have and to hold from this day forward for richer and poorer, better and worse, all that good stuff. Did a little cluster over here. So make sure you can see it okay. Yeah. So I did a little cluster right here with some embellishments, some flowers, and this little metal love. All of this stuff is actually from Hobby Lobby. So the spine looks like this. Again, this is just that paper pack. And then I use Mr. and Mrs. Chipboard stickers. And then the back here is We Are Now Husband and Wife. Don't know if you can see that. Well, we are now husband and wife. I hope you can see that. And so she can actually put a photo here too. And so when you open it up, I've got this little cluster embellishment set right here. Keep calm and marry on. And our wedding day. These were actually had sticks attached to them, and they were supposed to be for like cupcakes or cakes or whatever, but I just cut the sticks off, and I just really like the way that they looked. So, all right, so for the first page here, we have Love is in the Air, Dreams Really Do Come True. I actually used magnets under here, so this is just showing where the magnet is, but you could hide the magnet completely. These magnets I bought on Amazon, and they look like this. They're these little dial magnets, and they show you which one's positive, which one's negative. So it's actually really convenient. More of those flowers. Love is patient and kind. And so this lifts up like this. Now I actually watched a video on how to make this album, and I will put a link to that video series from my sister Scrapper in the comments section, or in the description of this video. Her flaps actually went this way, and I actually made a mistake and didn't make them the right way, but I sort of liked the way it came out, and I just went ahead and kept it. And then each of these is also a pocket. So I used these cute little ribbon paper clips to show where the mats were, and all the mats are the same. I didn't do a lot of embellishing on the mats because you want them to be kind of flat since they're going to be going inside a pocket. So as it turns out, these little foam pieces I bought at Hobby Lobby, they worked really well. They didn't make the album too big because they're really very squishy. Okay, so for our next pages, you notice I used a lot of the way the paper was already set up. I wanted to basically show the paper as is. I'm not a big fan of glitter, and this paper had a lot of glitter on it, so my craft room is now covered in it. Probably you've heard me joke about that before. Anyway, here's another pocket that lifts up. And again, I just really loved these, and just pulled the sticks right off, and you know, they worked. I did use a punch for these here. It's an EK punch. All the punches that I've used, EK is my favorite punch brand. Close to My Heart does sell punches too. I love our punches, but we only have a couple. So, and then this mat pulls out like this, and there's nothing on the front of this one, but the back of it says Mr. and Mrs. And put that back in. And so our next page is here with this ring, Ivy Wed, and I put another sticker here with this ring and then pictures of the rings to have and to hold. Now, the thing I'm going to tell my cousin is that she can go right ahead and cover any of these up with photos. She need not worry about it. It's fine. If you're going to use the paper as your embellishments, it's going to get covered. Wedding dress. I would love for her to put a picture of her in her dress here. I just love these flowers. They're really beautiful. And that's the back. Yeah. All right. So our next page. Again, there's flowers. I do always and forever. And this is a little different. These are half pockets. So they cross over each other. And this one's You Are My Everything. And then the best thing in life is to hold on to each other. And then each of them has, I have something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. These kind of, for me, are more like keepsake pockets, but she can put photos of those items in there. And if you noticed, I alternated between where I put the foam top and bottom. I was trying to even out the weight of the book. So throughout the whole book, it's like that. Okay. And then Happily Ever After, Here Comes the Bride. Again, another one of these closures with the magnets. This one actually is a pocket. And so if she wanted to tuck some sort of memento in there, she could. And again, this is one of those that I pulled the stick off of. And you can see the magnet is under here. You can feel it, but you can't see it. And I really love that. Like again, I said, I got it on Amazon. So, love story, nothing on the back. This page is actually really heavy, and I think I might have to go in and reinforce it because I put this embellishment in here, and it's kind of pulling away. You might be able to see that. It's pulling away right here, so I might need to go in and add some reinforcements. I've got a cake here, and Eat, Drink, and Be Married. I thought that was hilarious, and I'll put another little cake there. Again, this was one of the sticks. And then this one doesn't have a flap. These don't have flaps at all. And then True Love, nothing on the back. Little piece of advice. I think it would have been better had I glued the paper clips under the paper because they are pulling off. So pro tip, glue the paper clips under the mat, the photo mat you're making. That might make things easier for them to slide in and out and not come off. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is our last page. Love is in the Air. And another one of those flaps. Husband and wife, just married with the card. Just married. This came off of one of the sticks. And on the back here, I put the kiss, and she can put a photo right here. This hinge system is the hidden hinge system. And it's basically just paper folding. And no, I did not come up with this hinge system. And the woman, my sister Scrapper, didn't come up with it either. She explains who did, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But that is it. That is my wedding mini album. And I hope you enjoyed this quick look. It took me about 2 weeks on and off, touch and go with it to actually get it to where I wanted. But I'm pretty happy with the results. So have a great day, artsy friends, and I'll see you next time.